Welcome to another episode of the Grateful Gem Podcast. I'm the host, Jasmine Shannelle, and today's topic is going to be people's needs. Stick around because gems are definitely about to be dropped, so get ready. Before I get into this episode, I need everyone listening to this podcast right now to follow the podcast on IG at The Grateful Gem Pod, and also follow me at Jasmine Shannelle. I'll spell everything out and put it in the episode notes. Okay, let's get started. Welcome back, Gems. I'm so excited to have you here. Woo woo. We on episode 16, 17, don't quote me, I'm not sure, but I'm so glad that you are most importantly here. So if you haven't listened to the last episode, pause this one and go back because you're going to be missing out on some good knowledge. Take it from me, I know. So today I just want to talk about something that I've been experiencing, or something that I've honestly just been observing for the last couple of weeks. As you heard, the topic is going to be people's needs. Or the needs of people. Like, it's funny, I noticed that the needs of people change when their circumstances change. But when I sit back and I realize how often this happens, I don't really see or understand a pattern that is accommodating others when their needs change as well. So, for instance, what that means is, say, if I'm just this person that always has money and I just love to go out and I'm always doing these things. So say my circumstances change and I'm just not able to go out and I don't have the time like I used to. I don't have the funds like I used to. So now I'm always wanting to stay in the house. Or now I'm always wanting to do something that's low budget. Or now I'm just trying to be frugal with things that I have versus thinking about the other person. Because don't get me wrong, we certainly understand that in certain circumstances, you have to be accommodating other people. Friendships and relationships are about give and take. It's about what you give and what you can take from that. So you want to accommodate people's needs. So how is it fair for someone to always accommodate your needs, but you're never accommodating them? But when your circumstances changes, you're so upset, or you don't understand how people don't want to do the things you want to do anymore, or don't want to be around what you're trying to be around anymore. But when it was convenient for you, it was the same thing. It was vice versa. What they wanted to do, or let's go here during happy hour because it's cheaper, I'm on a budget. Happy hour? No, I need to go when they have the entrees because I'm hungry. But now you want to go to happy hour and I'm trying to go get an entree. Or I haven't ate all day, so I need more food, or we can go to happy hour, but let's go here. But their happy hour prices aren't what you want to pay. So I just want to talk about this topic for a little bit. I've noticed it with a lot of my friends recently. For instance, I'm doing a little bit of Christmas shopping this year. I already talked about that. I'm not doing much. I think I literally bought like 4 people gifts. And I think I've done so good so far. I literally have to pick up one more item, which I'm going to be doing that tomorrow. And I haven't wrapped anything. I don't think I'm wrapping anything this year. I don't feel like it. I'm just not in the Christmas spirit. I love Christmas though. I love the time, not even the gifts and anything. Like, I don't have to get anything. I don't have to receive any gifts, but I love this time of year, the lights and the decorations and the music and the food, even though I'm dieting right now, and I'm going to be dieting until probably after like February. So I'm not really I'm just doing fruits and vegetables and water, just cutting back a little bit, trying to lose a little weight, getting back on my grind, honestly. But back on topic, I recently discovered this. I was talking to a friend and I was telling her that I had a few errands to run over the weekend. And so, I asked, I'm like, do you want to, hang out with me or ride with me? Do you want to go get something to eat? I just really would love your company. And it wasn't the fact of, I understand because she's not really working full time anymore. I don't believe. I think she's just working part time. So I get it. And then like her vehicle is a temporary situation. So I get it. But, I offered to come get you. And I told her, I'm like, I can pay for your food. It's fine. Like, you I just, I would just really love to spend some time with you. Let's talk about stuff or whatever. Sometimes you just want to spend time with people. I haven't seen her in a while. So, and she was like, oh, and I told her, I was like, yeah, I want to go to Ross because I need to find me a few items for work. I was like, I need some more work clothes because I don't really have any, more work clothes that I can really wear for the winter or whatever. Most of my stuff is like, just short sleeve. I said, I don't know what happened to my winter clothes, but I need to get some. So I was like, I'm not going to be doing anything crazy. Just try to grab a few shirts and a few pair of pants. And so she immediately is like, oh, Christmas shopping, I'm just not in the mood for that. And I just, you talking about going to Ross, you trying to shop, I can't do that. So I'm like, oh, okay, that's cool, that's fine. So the next day comes, mind you, I didn't really do all of these things that day because I got so bombarded with cleaning up and doing the laundry and stuff. So I was like, well, I'll just go on Sunday after church, whatever. So we're on the phone talking again, and I was like, hey, what are you doing? I was like, I would love for you to come. I was like, I'm getting ready to come to your side of town. Do you mind, riding with me? So she's like, where are you going? I was like, well, I need to go to Ross because I didn't go, and I like the one over there on your side of town. But I was like, it's not going to be nothing major. I'm just trying to go in and out, something simple. I'm not going on no shopping spree, because I get it. Like, I don't want no one to feel uncomfortable while somebody else is out shopping and you have money but you can't spend it, or you don't have money, and I don't want to ever put somebody in that bubble to make them feel like they have to feel less than themselves or feel unworthy because I'm going out to get these things. Mind you, like I tell her, when we go out to eat, I understand your situation, so I'm not asking you to spend any money, so it's solely about spending time together. And so I'm like, wow, and she did the same thing. She was like, oh girl, well, let me call you back, da da da. And so then I called her back when I was on the way to that side of town, and I didn't get no answer, and you still haven't called me back. And that was on Saturday. Today's Tuesday. So yeah, I was thinking about it. I'm like, why is it that these things happen? Like, why does these things happen? I really don't understand, but had it been the other way around and I did that, it'd be like, oh girl, don't act like that. I ain't going in here to spend a whole bunch of money. You can come with me. I just want to see you. You can ride with me. But when I'm trying to accommodate you, it's a problem. I really think it's not fair. I really think that you should be genuinely happy for somebody. At the end of the day, I haven't really bought any clothes in a long time. Like, the stuff that I have is honestly stuff that I've had for a while, and I've just recently added a few pieces, but again, that wasn't nothing major. And this time it wasn't going to be anything major. I never want to put somebody out of the element, but there's been plenty of times where I've rode with people that went shopping, and even if I had the money, I knew I wasn't touching it because I had that reserved for other things. So at the end of the day, I feel like, if someone is trying to hang out with you, you accommodate that. Like, that's what relationships are about. It's not about being ashamed. And 9 times out of 10, I know your situation. And if I'm asking you to go out and if we go get food or something, I'm definitely going to pay for you. So it's like not a sense of trying to make you feel low, but trying to get you out, trying to spend time with you because of the fact that, you obviously need to get out the house. So it was just like, okay. And it's crazy because I noticed it, but I had previously noticed it too with another friend of mine. I was talking to my other friend, and she was talking about something that she's having or something that she's doing, and she was talking about how she wasn't able to accommodate each person's need for what she's doing. And I realized, I thought about it, and I sat back and I was like, is it more so that you're not willing to accommodate the needs of everybody, or is it the fact that you don't have the proper resources to accommodate everybody? And that brings me to the next thing. It just goes back to people's needs. Like, it's okay for you to just get away with doing the bare minimum or doing something that covers your pockets or covers a situation, but when it's the other person, it's just like, oh, well, this all you got, or this all you was gonna do, or I thought it was gonna be better, and da da da. And I just cannot believe it. Like, I think it's so crazy that it's happening like this. And like I said, it was not just one friend, but it was another friend, and I just paid attention to it. I'm like, it's funny how people's needs change. Like, people accommodations will change when their situation changes. Like, when your money changes, or when your mindset changes, or when your circumstances changes, you change, which I think is understandable. But at the end of the day, I think that it should be 100% of giving and taking. Like, at the end of the day, don't just try to accommodate yourself because you feel like you should be accommodated. That's like, for instance, like I said earlier, with the situation where it's like, oh, if you ask somebody if you want to go out, and it's like, oh, they're always going out all the time, but you don't have the money to go out, or you have the money, but you can't really touch those resources. So it's like, okay, well, I really don't have it. Can we do something else? Can we sit in the house? It's like, oh, girl, I've been sitting in the house all week. I don't want to sit in the house. I can do that at my own house. But then when a situation turns around, I want to go out. For instance, say I call you and say, hey, let's go out, let's do this. And it's like, oh, girl, but I just had to pay rent. So you can come over here. We can watch movies and drink hot cocoa and sip on some wine or eat some hors d'oeuvres. Or, I can make some stuff, which is fine. But I may not want to do that. And then it's like, if I do that, or if I say that, it's like, oh, well, I feel some type of way, you ain't want to come over here, and da-da-da. But then it's like, every time you want to do something, it's nothing that involves going outside. It's coming over to your house all the time. Like, I can sit at my own house, honestly. I say this all the time. I can sit at my own house. I don't have to get out the house to come sit in your house. I can do the same thing I'm doing at your house at my house. So I just don't understand it. Like, how is it fair for people to accommodate themselves but not be willing to accommodate others? And I think it comes to a point where you have to set boundaries with people and show them how to treat you, because at the end of the day, I don't want to ever feel sorry for accommodating my needs. But I know that when it comes to other people, I'm going to accommodate your needs as well. Like, I'm not going to just be like, oh, well, let's just go ahead, and the person's telling me like, oh, I don't have it. Girl, you got it. You got $50 till next week, when I know that's your last. Either I'm going to contribute to you going out, or I'm going to make provisions and say, okay, well, let's do this time. But then the next week, you get your paycheck, and I'm on $50. And it's like, oh, girl, let's go here. And I'm like, oh, all I got is $50. And you talking about, oh, you get paid in another 2 weeks. You can just spend this $50 when I accommodated you. Like, I don't think that that's fair at all. I think that we should be able to accommodate each other. Just evaluate yourself, evaluate your friends, and just show people, And I'm not saying that you have to 100% be the person that accommodates all the time, because that's not what a relationship is about. It's about giving and taking, giving what you give and being able to take what you can to better yourself. And I think that just comes with a part of growing, of being able to accommodate each other in a relationship so that no one is uncomfortable. Because honestly, who wants to sit here and have to not hang out with their friend because they don't have money, or because what they want to do never accommodates how their situation is, but they're always accommodating them? That's uncomfortable. Or who wants to be the person that has a friend that feels like they never accommodate each other? You get what I'm saying? Like, it's a point where it's uncomfortable for both parties. So I feel like we need to be a little alert, be more cautious of how we treat people, what we're saying, because in the midst of a circumstance, you'll lose people, honestly. Because if I continuously call you and ask you to go out or meet up somewhere, or let's go to the park or something like that, and you never want to do it, but then when I call you that one time and you're out clubbing, or you out with your family doing stuff that you didn't want to do last weekend, it makes it feel like, there's something underlining under the issue. I could be wrong, but that's just how I feel about it. And people will turn stuff into something, from nothing to something. So you have to be real careful in your relationships to be open-minded and just accommodate people. Accommodate yourself too, but accommodate people as well. So if somebody is pushing back on something that you want to do, or pushing back on a lot of things that you're inviting them to, look into why. And don't just call your other friend and be like, oh, girl, they ain't want to hang out with me, she acting funny. Oh, girl, she brand new. No, look at yourself, pull yourself back from the circumstance and see what's really going on. Is it that they're not financially able? Is it that they don't have the proper transportation? Is it that they have funds but they don't have enough funds to accommodate that? And if not, what can you do in order to accommodate that person? And then when the next opportunity comes, when they want to do something that, if there needs to be accommodation for you, don't be afraid to say, hey, well, can we do something that's budget friendly for both of us? Like, I don't mind compromising for you, let's compromise for me. So I really hope this hit home with some people. I know a lot of people may be like, girl, what are you talking about? But hopefully somebody was able to resonate with this, because I've been going over this in my mind for a couple of days, and I'm like, it is so crazy. I actually was talking to my sister about it, because I'm like, this is so crazy. Like, people's circumstances will change once their circumstances change for themselves. But when other people's circumstances, when they change, they aren't so quick to accommodate. And I think that's not fair in a relationship, because it's about 50-50. You are really 100. You give 100, even when the other person is giving 50. You do the best that you can do. So in order to have a successful relationship, you have to be willing to accommodate each other, and make it comfortable for both of you. Everybody's not going to always be up. Everybody's not going to always be in a situation where they're able to do everything, but be able to make it friendly for both of you. Something that involves you two coming together in the middle to make a arrangement to do something fun. And I think that once you start doing that, you will have less arguments, less people feeling afraid to speak how they feel or say that they can't afford it. Because a lot of times people, when it comes to money, people don't want to say, oh girl, I don't really have the money. That's embarrassing, and you don't want to put nobody on the spot, especially if you're out with your close friend and then you're with other friends that don't know this person, and it's like, oh girl, let's go out to the bougiest restaurant in the town center, and it's like, oh girl, well, like, I don't got no money to go, and it's like, oh, we can't go there because Shaniqua, she only got $10 till she get paid. No, like, don't do that, because that's embarrassing, and that's gonna make that person not resent you, but it's gonna make them hurt towards what you did, because you're supposed to be a friend, and a friend wouldn't do that. So that's how I feel about it. If you have some debates, we can argue. No, I'm not gonna argue with you, but we can talk about it. You can let me know how you feel. Let me know if this makes sense, if you're feeling what I'm saying, if you understand what I'm saying. Have you ever been put in that situation where you've accommodated people when it comes to going out or just having a good time, and people didn't accommodate you and they made you feel bad about it? Or have you been in a situation where you've made somebody feel bad about asking to be accommodated? So let me know how you're feeling about this episode. I really hope that it makes sense, and if it doesn't, I know someone will let me know. So thank you for tuning in. Remember to shine bright as the gems you are, and I will see you on the next episode. Bye.